New selection pack has been announced. Now, what the heck kind of selection pack is this? This is at the end of the month. It's not a normal selection pack like we normally receive at the start of every month or, within the first 2 weeks of the month, where those are the big juicy ones. So what is going on with this extra end of the month selection pack? Well,
there can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Before we look into it, let's see what happened last year. Did we get Promethean Princess and something like this last year? I think so. October 30th is when we got the Promethean Princess. So this wasn't an extra selection pack. That means a massive meta-defining card could come out within the selection pack. But when this came out, it was not that good. And it was in the pack called Record of Noble Spirits. How good was this pack overall? It was pretty much a reprint pack, right? This is pretty crappy. It just had Promethean. Everything else pretty much sucked. I think this was the release of Sakutama. That was pretty good, though, for some decks. Trap Tracks was also kind of a new Morganite. That was good for stun. Now, enough of that. Let's look into the new pack. Boom. And this is coming with brand new cards. I have not really looked at these yet. What is going on here? A surprise selection pack, just like last year, Tricky Reception, which will release on the 28th of October. This pack will feature 2 new cards, brand new cards that have not been released yet in the TCG or OCG. I don't think they're out in OCG yet. So let's see what's going on there. There will also be a dual trial held between the 28th and 31st where you could use the new cards in various strategies. All right, I do think that's a good idea to allow you to use the cards. So let's see what's good here. All right, first starting off, Hollow. Hollow, the Great Spirits of Tricks. Now, I don't know if this is going to be the TCG name, so when it gets translated to us, because the Promethean Princess had a different name when it was announced to us, I believe. So what is this? 0 attack, 0 defense, Fiend, level 4. You could use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. On summon, you could make your opponent choose one of these effects for you to apply. You must control this face-up card to activate and to resolve this effect. Gain 800 for each Fiend in your graveyard, or inflict 500 to your opponent for each Fiend monster in your grave. How much Yubels do we generally get in the graveyard early for this to be meaningful? Oh my gosh, 500 damage. So I'm not too impressed with the first effect, and yeah, that does seem kind of crappy, but let's see what the next effect is. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you could send one monster your opponent controls to the graveyard. Non-targets send a monster the opponent controls to the graveyard. It's a Fiend, it's got Fiend focus, and it's 0 attack, 0 defense. So I'm already thinking some way maybe you could toss this into Yubel. Probably not though, right? Let's investigate that real quick. So if we look at this, let's type in Fiend, type monsters, and sort by the most popular. So most popular Fiends, of course, Yubel is at the top. So can we fill up the grave with a bunch of Yubels and then have a meaningful amount of burn damage where maybe the first effect could deal at least 3,000 damage, and then the second time, then the third copy burn for game? I don't know. So you could burn on your turn, their turn, and then on your turn again for game. That would be ideal. I don't think we're gonna be able to get enough Fiends to be able to do that though. Labyrinth. Maybe you want to play this in Labyrinth. So what I'm actually thinking about is the second effect. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect. So what you could do is what I'm thinking in Yubel, you could destroy it with either Nightmare Throne or your Nightmare Pain. So if you activate Nightmare Throne, you destroy it from your deck, it's now going to be taking out one of the opponent's monsters, non-targeting, get rid of it. So if there's a monster that's completely untargetable, unstoppable, that's now an out. If this is, in a way, this would be like playing Subversion in your Snake Eye deck. Now, of course, Subversion targets, but what's the purpose of Subversion? It's to out a problematic monster. So now, Nightmare Throne can out a monster, and, just 3 Nightmare Throne? Well, you have to remember, you could also search this card. So with the, what are the search? Okay, no, you could set up Nightmare Throne, Beckoning into the Spirit Gates. So initially, just the Nightmare Throne. We don't have Terraforming, unfortunately. We don't have a good way to search this. So with 3 Nightmare Throne, that could possibly be the deck Subversion. Is that good enough? What do y'all think? Send a monster your opponent controls to the graveyard. Is Yubel really struggling on turn 2 or turn 3 to deal with the body in the field where we need a non-target send? That might be something. And then once you pop this in the deck, is it worth even reborning? I would think it's not worth reborning. So if we're going to play this at all, I think it would just be for it be outing a monster. All right, so there you go. New Fiend support for Yubel. Now, what is this? Ween, the Great Spirits of Treats. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. This is a zombie 0/0. So we don't have that Yubel support where it's all about fiends at 0/0. And what else does this do? If this card is summoned, make your opponent choose one of the effects. 800 attack or 500 damage for each zombie. So very similar to the Hollow, but with zombie monsters instead. And is the second effect also the same? If this card is destroyed, you could special, it is a light monster, so it's not dark. You can't pop it with Nightmare, of the Nightmare Pain, that is. You could special summon one monster from your opponent's graveyard to your field. So whenever I'm thinking about stealing a monster from the opponent's grave, I'm thinking of the zombie vampire. Because whatever you steal from the graveyard is now treated as a level 8. So if you could get another, so horse cards plus this maybe, steal a monster from the grave to make a zombie vampire, that could maybe be a good strategy possibly. I've seen a lot of recent Snake Eye Fire King players actually playing the zombie vampire in their deck. Where was it? It was a recent tournament, even here. Yeah, they're liking it. So in a zombie deck though, let's see recent zombie support. Are we gonna, you see zombie, we're more likely to be playing a card like Grass Looking Greener, maybe playing Reasoning, maybe playing Monster Gate, mill your entire deck as much as you can, maybe playing zombies with Lightsworn to get that mill going. So this inflict damage to your opponent may be a lot more valuable than the Fiend version, because I think the Fiend's going to be better for just getting rid of a monster on the field, where this will actually maybe be for the burn damage. And if you pass in the burn, it's going to get huge, right? At just 3 monsters, it's 2,400. 4 monsters in the grave, it's 3,000. 4 monsters, you'd either burn for 2,000 or give them a 3,000 attack monster. That's interesting. And I'm sure a zombie deck could very easily get 4 zombies in the grave. And it's on special summon or normal summon. So if we have a way to reborn it from the grave, it is a hard once per turn. And then, as I already said, the second effect, steal monster from the grave, and then maybe turn it into a zombie vampire. Now for zombie decks, though, we don't really have any viable zombie decks. These are the most popular zombies in order. Mizuki, let's see, what's a zombie deck doing lately? Let's click on Mizuki. Eldritch is probably not going to be the way. So zombies. Can we toss her in? Is she at least worth being played at 1? See, the zombie deck type is so far behind in relevance that it's still showing a banned card because they haven't really been updating the deck since. Go down here, yeah. The last time it was played, wait, no, okay, to be fair, that was the tier limit field spell making this banned. So you could play something very similar to this. Let's look at the Master 1 version here. Oh, that's Chaos Rule, that's 2023. This is the latest version of a good zombie deck, it looks like, with Mizuki, that is, specifically Mizuki. Let's go back to here, maybe we could instead play Maya Akashi. That could be interesting, something like this, yeah? So Maya Akashi with the 1 tech of the zombie, do we have room for it, and why would it be good? I guess the Eldritch could special summon it, right? Special summon a zombie from your deck or graveyard. So this could be, but if you control no Eldritch, you have to special summon an Eldritch monster, but once you have the Eldritch, you could summon it from the deck if you wanted to. But I feel like there's just better things to set up. If I'm prioritizing the Banshee and the Doom King play, my second priority without the Mayakashi cards would probably be trying to set up some sort of Mizuki. So not really sure on the zombie. I'd be interested to see how well that does. And that's all we have for the new pack so far, which will be coming out on October 28th. There you go. Look out for more on the new pack. Is it going to be worth it for me to stream a tournament on this new pack day? It's on a freaking Monday. Well, actually, yeah, okay, Monday. Yeah, 4:30 a.m. on Monday. So the day of Monday, should I push the Meta Weekly back 1 day? Instead of it being Sunday, have it be on Monday with the new pack? That's something I will consider. So thank you very much. Let's go.